Hi, and welcome back to Willie
Beans. Long time no see.
I know, it's been a very long time. It's been a very long time. We apologize. But we're here. We're ready to start. Today's episode, we'll have some of the knits we've been working on this summer, a little bit of swatching, and some fun merchandise I found in and around Alberta.
On your travels. Nice.
Well, and beyond, not just Alberta. And what do you have for us, Stacey?
We're just talking more about coffee and water.
That's a very important.
That's an important part of coffee.
It is, unless you want chocolate. You can have chocolate covered bean.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of things you could talk about coffee, but yeah, we'll just touch on water today.
Great. Okay. Okay. Should I start? We'll go back and forth.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I started a shawl. No, I wanted to start a shawl, but I didn't have the right yarn for it. So I finally found the right yarn, and it was part of Kate Davies' West Highland Way thing that she had going on. And we really wanted to do it. I asked my husband, can I do it? And he said, sure, the yarn's yours, the book's mine. Because we had hiked the West Highland Way and loved it. And Kate Davies' husband, Tom, is an incredible photographer. So we bought the book, bought the whole kit kind of thing. And I got the yarn and I started knitting and we got a puppy. And my puppy enjoyed the book.
Oh, must have been tasty.
I know, like this is the back. This is not the, yeah, it was not fun. So my shawl I could work on, which was the Observatory, but I was losing things. So I had to put it aside and got a new book, which a proper back to it, and started the Observatory. So I did not use the yarn she said.
Oh, you rebel.
I know. But I did use Handmaiden Angel Hair. So
is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's very light, hey?
It just looks like cotton candy or something.
I know.
Like super, I'd be afraid to catch it on something. It's so thin, but it looks so cool.
And light.
I love the edging on it.
So yeah, so that's where you started, was with the edge. And then from the middle, you started going back and forth, picking up stitches all the way, and then you got your depth. So it was a fun pattern to do. And I did get it done, and I purchased 2 books, and it was...
Didn't you let your dog finish off the book now?
Yeah, no, not at all. So Kate Davies started another program called Knitting Season, and I joined that also, and it's just about knitting and going beyond with designing. Oh. So she's taken a break for the summer, and yeah, so that was the knitting season, and started working on that kind of.
It's a cute book.
But it's from Germany.
Oh.
I don't know why. I think it's from Germany. I say that, and then, oh, it's not in English.
No, I was going to say, well, it's definitely not in English.
Oh gosh.
It doesn't say where it's printed or nothing. Huh? It must say there somewhere in that.
I don't know.
Well, that's
but we have 3 languages on top, and the middle one is English. And I have no other 2. English is what matters to me, because I don't speak any other language. I'm not the talented sort in linguistics.
Me neither.
You want me to keep going?
Sure. You've got a whole pile over there. I've got my measly little, like, couple of notes there, so you might as well.
So, on Instagram, there'll be a couple photo shoots with my granddaughter. I made her a little.
It's so cute.
Is it
I love the color.
It's a rosebud pattern by Caroline Hegwer. And
buttons are cute too.
I know, Kayla had the buttons. And then I did a little headband for her. So she's so cute in it, but the dress is really too big.
Oh.
Because I didn't do a swatch. I didn't do a swatch.
Ooh.
I know. Ew. A designer who does not swatch. Seriously, I'm not good at it.
Should you even admit that?
I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. She's all of 9 months old.
Yep.
It's way too big, so next summer she'll be able to wear it.
Yep, it's pretty.
Isn't that cute?
I love the colors.
And that was with Sardar bamboo, baby bamboo, so it's so soft and it drapes and hangs so nicely. It was supposed to be with a fingering, and I used a DK weight.
Can you make that for adults?
I'll use bulky.
Just wondered because it's cute. I thought, geez, that'd be nice for fall and winter just to throw over.
I know, it would be really cute.
Yeah.
Be very nice. Okay, I'll do one more and then you can go into your water. All right. I knit, oh gosh, what was it called? Sorry. Breezeway by Laura Eiler. I wanted another cotton summer top, right? Because I made one a few years ago. I wear it all the time. I get heaps of compliments. So I thought, well, I'll try Laura's pattern. Beautiful pattern. Works wonderfully. Oh, and I swatched. And the reason I swatched is because you swatched.
Because I tried the one on the round?
Yes.
Is that the one? Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So Stacey, show it on.
I don't, well, I did.
She doesn't have a swatch.
I faked my first one just to see if I could do it on the round to try it because I was watching the Grocery Girls, which I don't really watch any knitting videos, but I watched that one because I wanted to know how to swatch in the round.
Right.
Because I was going to use round needles, and I think it was them that suggested that you should swatch in the round because your back and forth isn't consistent. Like your purling might be looser than your knitting. So they said if you do it in the round, it will be more consistent looking.
Especially when you're going to knit in the round,
yes,
right?
Yeah. So they suggested to do your swatch in the round so that you get a better idea of what your sweater or whatever you're knitting is going to look like.
So that was for the other sweater that we talked about in the last episode.
That, yes, we decided it was too hard for me, so we switched the pattern. So then I just did a back and forth swatch. Because as you know, it's very messy to do it in the round.
Oh, right? I know. So I thought, okay, Stacey did it in the round. She's a newbie knitter. Here I've been knitting just about my entire life. I have never done a swatch in the round. So I thought, I'm going to do a swatch in the round. Oh my word.
You didn't like it.
I hated it. It's difficult.
Well, I've never swatched before, so it was like,
what am I doing?
It was like, well, just keep going, and so I didn't find it a big deal. Even
with all the
yeah, it was just weird. It was a little weird.
So I don't have a picture of it on your needles, but the whole thing of it is that you're knitting in the round, so you have to leave a whole big piece of yarn because it's connected here, right? Yeah. Like this, so you can keep going in the round. And I had just the biggest mess, but I kept going. I got my swatch. I just tag all my swatches.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So I remember.
Yeah, good idea.
So I got my swatch. I finished it. I blocked it. I measured it. And it was not what the pattern said.
Oh.
I wasn't too far off, but I was off. And I thought, you know what? You're gonna just find out my attitude. It's not stuff it. I'm gonna knit it anyways. I don't care. I'm just gonna do it. So I don't recommend this for everybody. I really don't. So I went ahead and I knit it. So I knit it in the round. This is not my color, but it's what I had.
Oh,
so I knit it in the round. To offset, I crocheted gray around the edge, the top and the arms, just because the pink does not go. The peach. Anyways, so this morning I thought, oh, before we go on and do woolly beans, I'm going to measure, this has been blocked, a swatch of 4. So I did this morning, knit in the round, knit in the round. I did my measurements. I was bang on. I was bang on the pattern.
There you go.
I was so excited. It was like,
Nice.
So I don't know. I really don't.
To swatch or not to swatch? That is the question.
Yeah, that's, and I know this is not fitted. I was confident in my knitting skill that it would work. It was top down, so if I really wanted to, I could try it on as I went.
Oh, that's nice.
For myself, I did change the pattern and made it longer. I added an extra row between the repeats, the increases, because it increases along the side here. Actually, you can see. So I added an extra row between each increase, and then I added another increase. So I added almost a good 1.5 inches to the length. But yeah, that was my little testing with knitting in the round swatches. So for me, I was knitting way looser.
Oh, when you did it in the round.
When I did it in the round.
I found that too, actually, that because I went back and did a normal swatch, just back and forth on needles instead of in the round, and it was
firmer.
Loose. Yeah, it was way too loose doing it in the round for me.
Yeah, so that's how it was for me. So will I ever swatch in the round?
Tried it, done with that.
Tried it, experimented with it, recommend it? Not really, no. So, anyways.
Nice. Well, it turned out nice. So
it turned out nice. Wore it to a wedding. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It worked. It worked. Nice pattern, lovely pattern. All the patterns we mentioned, we'll put links on the bottom of the YouTube so you can have a look and always catch, because we're mentioning lots of patterns and things.
Yeah, lots of name dropping too. I mentioned the so we'll jump from that to because I had my swatch out, maybe we'll show.
Yeah.
So the last episode we talked about my sweater pattern, which we've dumped because it was too hard for me.
Oh, I know where we were.
Oh, where were we?
We're talking about the yarn.
Oh yes, okay.
Okay, good. So we have the Basil, which is a Sweet Georgia yarn from BC, from Vancouver.
Nice.
Love her yarns. And then we have Zen Yarn Gardens from Ontario, which, yeah, I really love
this color too.
Yeah, this yarns. So the pattern Stacey's doing was a worsted weight knit with Noro Kurion or Silk Garden, so which is more of an Aran weight. So she's knitting 2 together, and she's getting this gorgeous.
Yeah,
so
beautiful.
With the swatch, I think we decided it's going to be a little bit bigger, isn't it?
I think so.
Which Stacey's fine with.
Yeah,
she wants a big baggy
sweater.
Yeah. And that's what she's going to get. Comfy for the winter season.
So soft, and so it's a nice thickness too. It's not like super thick, but it's not thin either. So I'm very happy.
So she's using Tough Love sock as well as another sock yarn. So it's going to be durable, it's going to be comfy, it's going to hang nice. It's going to be a good Alberta winter sweater.
Yeah, if I get it done by then, that would be good. Because that's coming.
It's coming.
It's
been here all summer.
Yeah, we haven't had very summer-like weather. Just
we haven't.
Hit and miss.
Yeah, just crazy.
I could have used the sweater a lot sooner.
I know.
Sooner than later.
So, Stacey,
so we'll talk a little bit about coffee now, because that's one of my favorite subjects. So as you know, all the people that know about coffee already know all this stuff. So you can do something else while I ramble on about coffee. So bottom line is, if you want good coffee, you want to have good water. So sometimes especially when you're in the city, that tap water, if it's chlorinated, you're going to taste it in your coffee. So it's best to filter it. And I've heard so many people and a lot of coffee shop owners are like, oh, we use RO water, which is good if that's what you want to do, but RO water takes out everything from your water. And coffee molecules need something to stick to. So you'll probably still get not bad cup of coffee, but you really want something in that water for the coffee molecules to stick to, so you're gonna get more flavor from your coffee. So I've taken a few notes from this book, The Professional Barista's Handbook, which is written by Scott Rayo. A lot of technical stuff in here that makes me glaze over. I'm sorry, Scott, but it has really good info if you want the more scientific and like precise stuff for coffee. I like a good cup of coffee, but I just can't get into the sciencey part of it because that's not my thing. I like to dabble with stuff and I'll fool with stuff till I get a good flavor without the scientific stuff behind it. I just know what works.
Yeah, kind of like bean swatches.
Yeah, let's just skip the spinny rims and go right to the basics.
Too forward.
So, according to Scott Rayo's book, he gets into all this technical stuff about the TDS, which is total dissolved solids, pH level, hardness level, alkalinity, which is all stuff you really, if you want to get into serving good coffee, you should need to know. But on the other side of that, if you may keep it simple, if you have soft water or hard water or the reverse osmosis water, that's simple to me. So again, reverse osmosis is good, but it's too pure. It's too pure for espresso and coffee. It has nothing in there for the coffee to stick to. So hard water, I mean, it's gonna wreak havoc on your machine if you have hard water, but it can produce a good cup of coffee because there's lots of minerals and stuff for the coffee molecules to stick to. However, if you have like a lot of sulfur in your water, you might get that flavor in your coffee.
Oh,
too.
I can't, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to, again, it's like if you're over chlorinated or over too hard, that flavor will come out in your coffee. So you don't want too much of one thing and not enough from another. And then for soft water, it's good for protecting your machine, or like if you're doing a lot of like kettle boiling, like for home stuff, or if you have a home espresso machine, it's good for your machine, but not necessarily good for your coffee. So again, it changes the particles, like there'll either be too much particle or not enough particle for your coffee molecules to stick to. So you'll get like, what does it say here? It causes the particles to bind. We're getting a little bit scientific here. And it also can give you an uneven percolation when you're percolating your coffee. So soft water is not the greatest either, which is kind of interesting. So now with the, so recommended, if you're gonna do coffee shop or even at home, recommended carbon filter is a good one. That's what we use in our shop because it takes out that bleachy, the chlorine flavor.
Yeah, that's what we use in our home.
But you also need, if you're gonna use a carbon filter, you should have a sediment filter as well, depending on where you are. Like well water, you get a lot of mineral in your well water, so it's good to filter it, have filtered water that you can use. Yeah, but for like if you're doing coffee shop stuff, the best thing's a carbon filter with a sediment filter. It's pretty easy. It's not quite as, I don't think, pricey as reverse osmosis, but yeah, that's
filtered. Yeah, totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Because water is the big part of coffee.
It is.
You can't have your coffee without the water. So,
but I did not know about the molecules.
Oh, so I got a little bit sciencey.
No, but it makes sense though, right?
Yeah.
You have to have something to stick
for that to grab onto.
Otherwise it just goes. Yeah, your flavor just goes.
Yeah, you won't get. There's so much happening in your coffee. Yeah.
Where does it go?
I don't know. It's a good question. But it makes sense because some of the molecules, like there's different molecules like there is in the water and then in the coffee, so you want them to connect to each other, but if there's not enough stuff in there, they got nothing to connect to. No. So so you're losing out on some of the flavor that's in your coffee if you don't have good water.
Yep.
I've also heard, I was listening to Orange Cactus Coffee, listen to some of their podcasts, and they have something, they talk about third wave water, I think it is. Hope I'm not messing that up, but I know when they send out packages of their coffee, they'll send out little packages of this third wave. It's like you add it to your water so that you get the right molecules and stuff in there for your coffee. And they do, I know third wave, I think I looked them up, they do have a website, so if you want more information, because I don't have it, you can look up there because it's interesting. I haven't tried it myself, but I'm curious. I would like to give it a try and see if it's all the hype that I hear people talking about.
So I'll try to remember to link that at the bottom of the video. I had a friend that would always put salt
Yeah, I know some people do that too. My dad used to do it.
Before, like on top of the grounds, right?
Yeah.
You have your coffee grounds, she'd put in salt, and...
Did you ever get a reason why?
She said flavor, that it would enhance the flavor. I have no clue. I never noticed. It never made any huge... But back then we weren't really snobby about our coffee, right?
Yeah.
We
drink whatever.
Yeah.
Drink whatever coffee you got.
That's right. Who knows what we were really drinking, because we were not buying quality
my
coffee.
Dad used to put salt in there, and I would never.
No one?
Remember. Yeah, I don't know why.
Why? No, I don't either. But thanks, Stacey. That's really interesting. Travels this summer, just around town, around Alberta. We haven't done a lot. Well, we have done a lot, actually. But on Instagram, I found a Yarmobile that started in Red Deer. I was so excited. It's been a dream of mine for years, to do a retrofitted trailer and to sell yarn and go around. And I never did it. And this couple did not have a retrofitted trailer, but they do have a trailer and they go around. So it's called Under the Elm Yarnery, and I will put their link on the bottom of the YouTube so that you can follow them on Instagram, because they're always putting up where they're going to be. So they'll be at different markets in Red Deer, in Edmonton, so mostly for Albertans, but it's fun, and to support another young couple that are doing an adventure.
Following their dream.
For now. So when I was there, I got us each something.
Oh, you did?
I did. And these are pins. This is yours.
Oh, that's
These are from Twill and Print, and it's another company in Canada from the East Coast.
That's cute.
So Stacey's is
what's it say?
Sip Knit.
It's so cute. They're like little stacked coffee cups.
I know.
Super cute.
And then I got Places You Can Knit. It's a globe.
Oh, that's neat.
I know,
Nice.
because
Thank you.
That's my whole thing. Adventure knitting, traveling, knitting, seeing places. So
cute.
So both, like the Yarnery, Under the Elm, and then also Twill and Print. And I was on her site yesterday, and she has a sale.
Oh.
So on her pins, she has heaps of different pins, and
for how long is the sale?
I'm not sure how long the sale is, but I think I remember seeing that they're on holidays, so orders won't go out till September 2nd or something like that.
So there's still time for us to get this video up and you to
check
them out.
Hopefully tomorrow. So those are, enamel pins seem to be
those are
the
cute.
thing right now.
Thanks.
And then another thing I did is a friend, well, she's not a friend, but I'll say Sandy's a friend. She's a friend of the family. She does dot art.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, so she had these.
Oh my word.
Canada.
Very
postcards. So I bought a pack from her to send to friends all over the world. Just who gets snail mail? Nobody gets snail mail except if it's bills.
It's so fun to get.
I know.
I still like getting letters, which doesn't happen very often, but
I know, it doesn't. So I thought, you know what?
myself.
It doesn't take much to write a little postcard and say, thinking of you, how's things going? This is our life. And then they got a little bit of Canada with the last thing. Well, not the last, but kind of the last, is just released is a new pattern that I wrote. So it's called Parker's Ridge. It was on a hike my husband and I did, very popular, easy hike, but I got so cold, my ears got cold, I wasn't thinking of it, the wind coming off the glacier, and so I knit up Parker's Ridge hat, and it's kind of like an adventure hat.
Okay.
And here you go.
Ooh.
You try it on.
I love the color, and it's like a thin, it's thin. It's not like thick yarn like you'd...
No,
So
again, it's a fingering weight, self-striping. I haven't sewed in the end.
That's okay with tucking.
Is a self-striping, fingering weight sock yarn. BFL is what I used for this, Blue Faced Luster. And that was from String Theory Colorworks. Her yarn is beautiful.
It is
She's
lovely.
a scientist, or I believe, well, don't quote me on that, but that's what her yarn is based on. Molecules, and they're named after string theory.
Oh, neat.
So this is it. It's
so nice.
a fun knit. It's an engaging knit, and it's on the bias. So you get this one. You'll see here. We'll put our hat on. This one you'll see as I'm knitting one way is swirling the yarn.
Okay. Yes.
So this yarn wasn't self-striping.
You can see.
It's yarn ink. They're Creek
Love
yarn.
the color.
I know, I love the color. This is what I knit the socks out of with I
Yeah,
designed.
it's beautiful.
So I could knit out of a skein, I could get a pair of socks, and I could get a hat,
Lovely.
and I still have leftovers. So Stacey can try on hers, and what's really funky about the one Stacey has, so you can, these are loose.
Yeah, a little bit. Hey.
Yeah. So this is it. But on the back of hers is, well, she can't turn all the way. It is a flower. It was so fun. But when I did the decreases, we got a flower on top. Mine does not have a flower because it's not self-striping.
Oh, but the self-stripe
But the flower, or maybe it'll be a snowflake more like it. But a very fun pattern. So I'll put the link on that, as well as my website, Stacey's website, and check us out. And we'll just want to thank you guys for watching, for liking us,
Yeah.
subscribing. We got new subscribers. Thank you so much. And we just want to leave you.
I gotta mention.
Oh, yes, Stacey has an important message.
I do.
Yes.
Hi, Mac Flappers.
Yes.
So Mac Flappers, if you don't know, which you probably won't if you're just into knitting and drinking coffee, Mac Flappers is one of my girl's friends, and she's an up-and-coming YouTube live streamer, gamer.
Yeah.
So we'll put her link up there too. So if you're into gaming, I don't know, it's fun sometimes. And sometimes fun to watch. I don't know if they have swears in there or not, so use your own your discretion. But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to her because she's doing really well. So yeah, it's something fun to have a look at.
Oh, for sure. And that's what we're about, supporting other people too, right?
Yeah.
It's not all about us. And the scripture verse that I have for today, we didn't talk about this early, but it's really not about us. And the scripture verse is, not to us, Lord, but not to us, but to your name, to the glory because of your love and faithfulness. And that's Psalm 115. So it's
Always
not about us, it's about God. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Bye now.